This is BBC Essex.
Good morning to you. It turns out that when it comes to work, a lot of us are scared about flying solo. A new report out today has found that although more than 2/5 of people dream of one day becoming their own boss, only 1 in 20 are planning to make this a reality. I'm asking you this morning, is that you? Are you hoping you want to do it, but you're scared of taking that big step? Let's speak to Kerry Doyland, who runs Chocolate Buddha in Southend. Good morning to you, Kerry.
Morning, Ronnie.
The last time we talked, you were live from Downing Street.
I was hobnobbing, wasn't I?
What was the story again? I was trying to remember what the story was.
We were part of Small Business Saturday, and we'd been invited up to Downing Street to show our British yoga clothing.
Did you meet the Prime Minister?
We didn't. We saw her, had a little wave. We met ministers.
Right.
It was a beautiful day.
And we'll talk about this employment side. I'm just intrigued. You know, because I've never been in tender. What is it like? Is it just a big room where ministers just mingle? Or?
No, it's like a beautiful country house.
Right.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautifully appointed. It's just like, what was the film?
Downton Abbey?
No. Where the Prime Minister dances on the stairs, on the yellow staircase. Everybody will be shouting what it is. I can't remember what the film is, but it's, Hugh Grant is the Prime Minister.
That's, I know the one. I know that.
And it's exactly like that. It's beautiful.
Do you, somebody who's a businesswoman, do you find that these things really that useful? Do you think they're worthwhile doing?
I do, because I think people buy from people, and I think if people have got faith in you, if they can trust you because they understand that other people can trust you, then I think that really helps in business. Let's
talk about your business, because you've been going now, 4.5 years?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And before that, you were an architectural... You used to do phone-ins at this radio station.
I did, with Steve Scridden, yeah.
You were an architectural... Designer.
Yeah.
So this is what a lot of people, and some of the listeners this morning, maybe like you, they see an opportunity for something, but they don't go for it. Tell me about that moment for you. You saw an idea, or there's something in the back of your head you thought you'd like to try.
Well, I had come out of my architectural design practice just because I fancied a different lifestyle, and I'd started doing yoga and painting and drawing. And then in doing yoga, I then started teaching yoga. And once I was teaching yoga, the friend that is my business partner, Lynn, in Chocolate Buddha, owns Shambhala Studios in Lee, which is a yoga studios. And she and I were talking and could see an opportunity for yoga clothing, for the lycra shy clothing for people that didn't want to wear something that was too revealing. And we started the company.
Now, you being that kind of sort of forward thinker, how the heck then do you go from that idea and you see the niche? How do you get the manufacturing? How do you do the quotes? How do you get the money together?
You go into it with the blind faith that if you've got a USP, a unique selling point, and a fabulous idea, that you're going to get it to market. And I think it's dogged determination that gets you there. For us, it was a very long process between the idea and getting it to launch, because we dealt with all British companies who are very dyed in the wool. They're very old established companies that are not yet on the internet, so we had to go and walk the streets of particularly Leicester and knock on doors of anything that looked like mills and say, could you weave for us, could you dye or print or whatever. And eventually we found a group of English manufacturers that have done the job beautifully. But it was a lot of footwork and a lot of work.
Are you one of those people that just go, scream at the wall for a bit and then move on? Was there any time during the setup you going, nah, I'll tell you what, I'll just go back to architecture because it's so much easier?
There were times, we used to shortcut it to IBB. It beggars belief, Lynn and I. We just look at each other and go, IBB. Yes, there were times. But no, I'd never have gone back to architectural design because I'd moved on for it for a reason.
What kind of reception did you get as a woman, starting up your own business? Was it favourable? Was there any sexism involved, did you think?
Originally, in the architectural practice.
Or even with this business as well?
Yeah, no.
No.
I mean, it was always strange being on a building site, obviously. I was always asked to make the tea before people realised that actually I was there to finger point. But No, I think it's a very even playing field now.
Because I wondered, we were talking about why people don't make it a reality. I just wonder about particular women that might think that, that it's harder for a woman to start up a business than maybe for a man.
I think people that are entrepreneurial, people that have got an idea, they don't see the negatives. I tend to think they embrace the idea and push it forward. And there's so much more support now. I mean, originally, when I first started my business, probably the original business 35 years ago, not support. There was no support. You were on your own. But that's not the case now. There are so many government-funded schemes to support start-up businesses and young businesses. There are training courses everywhere that are free. You're given lunch. They're making it really accessible for everybody that has a genuinely good idea to start up a business.
Yeah, because a lot of people will go with Dragon's Den and they see them pitching the idea, and I think that's kind of, in a way, it's off-putting. For some people, it might be kind of thinking, well, that's great, but they see this idea of that's how you get a business going. You have to go and speak to somebody
and be
with
shot
money.
Down in flames.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. It's extremely supportive and nurturing now.
What kind of advice would you, and the vast amount of information that beggars belief, how much advice could you offer somebody then, in terms of that whole process, of get the idea going to seeing the companies who do the weaving? How much do you have? And that could be
my initial advice would be to make sure that you have your USP, you have your unique selling point. It's no good looking at another business and thinking, oh, I could do that, I'm going to start up on my own. You've got to look at another business and think, I could do that, but I could do it better, or I think they've missed a gap in the market, or you need that slight angle. And then I think my next bit of advice would be to surround yourself with positive people and to go and get yourself connected to a local growth hub. Colchester, Chelmsford, Southend, we've all got really accommodating growth hubs where you turn up with just an idea, perhaps not even a business yet, and they will show you how to get onto courses to teach you social media and marketing plans, marketing strategies. So you've got actually somebody to hold your hand now right the way through. In
many respects, because of social media the way it is, it's open access really, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. You maybe not even need to set up a marketing sort of profile in that respect. The old-fashioned way.
You can do your marketing through, yes, you've got your audience almost before you start.
What about the financial, because this report said that financial problems were the biggest worry. How do you go over that? Is it, what's your recollections of those early days?
Well, if you're going into business for yourself, you've got no guaranteed income, obviously, no pension, no guaranteed holidays. You're at the mercy of banks. And so there are a huge number of risks, but I also think there are so many benefits that it's very, very liberating. And it's magical, really, having a seed of an idea and nurturing it and giving it 24/7, really, until it's grown into something that's out there.
I see from your eyes you get excited when you talk about it.
I love it. Yeah, I do.
The other bit of advice is, what do you think about this? Maybe people thinking about the run before you can, before you can walk. Do you think that some people maybe go, thinking about, I have to get the accountant, I have to get all this kind of in place, when in fact maybe you have to do a wee bit of part-time work, do other work to kind of keep the business going? Oh
yes, yeah. You've got to be sensible. You've got to keep a roof over your head. But one of the best things I ever did in business was employ an accountant. So somebody that...
Same here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, going back 35 years, when I first went VAT registered, the VAT inspector came for a visit, and I handed her 12 carrier bags, each with a month's worth of receipts in. And I thought she was going to be so pleased with me. She sent me off with a flea in my ear, and I realised how much I didn't know, really. But yes, get your bookwork straight, and everything else is a lot easier.
Let's put this whole thing together then, and see. Just to kind of pinpoint and people where they need to go with this, that there are loads of hubs If,
There are.
you can get advice if you're thinking about it.
Absolutely.
Go and talk to it. And that word networking can put people. Yeah, exactly.
Gives you the fear, doesn't it? Networking.
listen,
Somebody standing in your space, handing you a business card and talking at you.
What do you do? I'll tell you. Talk about networking. I'll tell you one about networking. I went to a networking session, and they said, right, put your name down, and then draw a picture on your label of what your business does. Right. And I went, and I didn't stay. I just left because my palms started to get sweaty. Because even doing what I do, you think I'd be, but I'm not good at actually talking about, what I do. I'm not very good, and you have to learn that. But that's what I want to get from this is that if anybody's thinking about doing it, don't get it wrapped into being, I need to be out networking everything.
No. And there's a much softer option to networking now, and that is getting yourself involved in local meetup. I don't know if you know about meetup groups, but you go onto a meetup website and it will tell you what groups are running locally to you. And I'm part of one in Leigh-on-Sea called Conversation and More, and it's all creative people. In creative industries, and we meet 18 of us, sit around a table once every 2 weeks, and we don't show each other our business cards. No. We're there to support each other, and it is genuine support as well. It's not just lip service. Yeah,
because as I was saying earlier on, it can be quite a lonely thing when you're in your own and you're working from home and you're up against you're making the calls and everything. Sometimes you miss the banter of an office, for instance.
And I think that's why groups like meetup groups are fantastic for that. Yeah, because you can be in a little bit of a bubble, can't you?
So what's the future for Chocolate Buddha then? It's things just
onwards and upwards.
Yeah, it's just gone from strength to strength?
It is. I mean, we are the world's first and only at the moment still all British yoga and athleisurewear company. So it's good. We have our USP. It changed. Our USP to start off with was clothing that you could wear from a studio and straight out for lunch or a glass of wine or a coffee. And then because it took us so long with English manufacturers to get there, a lot of people manufacturing in China and Portugal and things sort of stole a little bit of a march on that USP. So now our USP is all British, and that's working well for us.
Kerry, it's great to speak to you.
Thank you.
I was asking the listeners about this 55 million quid that's going to be spent in the county from different areas. As a businesswoman, how would you like to see some of that 55 million spent in the county? What would you like to
That's tricky. There's so much to be spent on, isn't there? But I think one thing I would like to see is in the news today, it was all about the rate rebate, the small business rate rebate being taken away from small businesses. And I think for some businesses that might mean a 400% rise to their rates, and that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see things like that not being taken away from small enterprises, because we need the encouragement. We are the biggest sector of employers in the country.
Kerry Doyland runs Chocolate Buddha website. Kerry,
chocolatebuddha.co.uk.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's BBC Essex. Ronnie Barber's got issues.